We're about to get started. If you've been here before, then you can just come back when the countdown clock hits 0. But if this is your very first lesson, then I got a couple things I want to talk to you about. All right, so if you weren't here last week, don't worry, you didn't need to be. We're doing a brand new song this week, and if you haven't played piano before, don't worry, we're doing 5 different levels. You can definitely do level 1. You are going to need to click on the PDF button right over there though, download the PDF and print it out, because that's all the music for all the different levels. Now, as you'll see in your PDF, in the upper right-hand corner, it tells you what level that page is for. So on level 1, you're going to want to have that level 1 page, and then 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, you can just ignore those. Just stay on level 1 for the entire lesson. You will want to find the chart though that has all of the notes listed out with all the letters on it, because that's what you're going to use in order to play your piano along with me when I'm playing. So if we're playing Mary Had a Little Lamb, the track would go something like this. And as I'm playing it, I'll show you where all the notes are and where all the letters are. Don't worry about that. But then you're going to play along with me when I'm playing the track. Now, after we've done level 1, I'll show you everything you need so you can practice the song throughout the week. Then we're going to level up, and that looks like this. And now you can see we're on level 2, right? So at level 2, then it's going to get a little bit more difficult, but each time the track plays, I want you to just play the track that you're on. So if you're on track 1, if you're on level 1, then each time, we're doing our thing, we're going. Each time we start that, I want you to completely ignore the notes that we're playing, and you just play your level. So you would play. Because that's going to work with, the track's going to work with your level every time we play it, no matter what level we're on. So we move on to level 2, 3, 4, 5. You just stay on the one that you're comfortable with. All right, so all of these lessons are completely interactive. That means we want to hear from you right now. So go ahead and click on the chat button right over there. Put in your name. You don't have to put in a password. And then you'll be talking with all the other students who are logged in right now, as well as some of my assistants who can help you and answer some of your questions. If you've got a question, though, that you don't think they're going to know the answer to, and you want to ask me personally, then type your question in the box below this video, and then you'll get your answer to your question directly from me. Now at the end of level 5, we're going to raffle off some prizes. These prizes change up every single week. If you're the winner of the prize, you need to let us know right away what prize it is that you want so we can send that out to you. You can tell my moderator, you can let us know at mailbag@learnpianolive.com, email us there. You can fill out the contact form and let us know. But just tell us what prize you want so we can get that out to you. If you're not the prize winner, or if you want to know how you can earn more points so you can be the prize winner, then just stay tuned after the lesson and I'll let you know. All right, you've been very patient. That's all I gotta say. It's time for the lesson. I hope you've got your PDF. You're ready to ask some questions. I'm ready to answer them. Let's go. Hello and welcome back to KidsLearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and for the first time ever, one of my favorite people in the entire universe, Theatrical Athena, is here. Thank you so much, Theatrical Athena, for joining us. She has played piano before, so I gotta warn you, she's pretty good. So if you're not as good as her, that's perfectly fine, but she's never played this song before. Have you ever heard the song before? FelizNavidad?
Yes.
So you have heard of the song before, but you've never played it before.
Yeah, I've heard it, but I've never ever played it.
Okay, all right. So she doesn't know a single note of it. Let me show you where the first note is going to be in just a second after I introduce our chat moderator, who today is Kendra.
Hi.
How's it going, Kendra?
It's going great. How are you?
I believe you. Going great as well. And then we always have, of course, our mascot penguin, Clapple, who always interrupts and is so impatient. He's just so excited for us to be done with this song. So anyway, but he seems to be really festive. So I don't know what his deal is. Anyway, we'll be talking more about clapper later. Let me show you the first note of the song. You got to find any group of 3 black notes. Like that's a group of 3 black notes. Or that's a group of 3 black notes. That's a group of 3 black notes. Will you pick a group of 3 black notes? Any group of 3. Perfect. Take the middle note, and then you're just going to drag that down right there. That's called a G, and that's gonna be the first note that you have to play. Right after that, you gotta make a big jump up, skip over 2 white notes, and that's the next one right there. There you go. So anyway, big old jump right there. Those are the first 2 notes. That's the only hint I'm gonna give you because I know that you're really good. So now I'm going to steal your headphones. I'm going to send you in the other room. Oh, yes, what's up? Sorry, we have a question in the chat?
Yes, so some people are saying that the live lesson isn't working. I don't know.
In the chat?
Yeah, in the chat, and I asked if they could try logging out and then logging back in, and that didn't work either. Okay. And it says it takes them to the subscribe page.
Subscribe page.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to take just a quick time out, then you get an extra second to practice. You all at home who are watching this live, they're in the chat, though. So that's on the live lesson page, but they can't get to the live lesson page. Okay. We're going to take a 1-minute break, and we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. I guess for some people we're not. Unfortunately, it looks like some people, the way they logged in or whatever, they're having some issues. But hopefully you'll join us in the archives, and we'll figure out what that is. We'll try to replicate that problem this week. So if you're watching this in the archives, I'm really sorry about that. I don't know if that was on your end or my end, but we'll figure it out. We'll make it right. All right, so then level 1, here we go. The first note, as we already said, is going to be a G. So you're going to start here on G. And then you have to jump from that G up to, as you can see, this one right here, C. So we're going to go from G up to C. And then you're going to go down 1 note and then back up to that same one. So after you hit that C, you're going to be down to a B and come right back up to this C. And then go almost all the way back down to the original starting note, except you're going to be 1 above that. So you're going to start on the G and then play C, down 1, up 1, and then you're going to skip over that one right there and play almost that first note, but just 1 higher than that first note. And then after that, you're going to play the same exact note, another A, and go 1 past the C that you played before. So we're going to go from A up to that D, and then you're going to skip over a note, and then come down and come down. So all of that all together would sound like this. FelizNavidad. And maybe that's all that you get for this week. Just work on that one section, because you have like 3 or 4 weeks before Christmas. And then you're going to go A up to D, then skip down to B, walk down, walk down. So we go, we have a big pause there, and then we have, that's actually like a 1/4 of the song already. This next part right here is going to be the exact same thing that you already played up here, Feliz Navidad, but you're going to jump down this direction instead of going the other direction this time. Prospero año y felicidad is all of that section. From right there really to right there, that's all kind of like, those are all right next to each other. There's not much of a break. Prospero año y felicidad. So that section right there will take some practice, but then you're just going to play all of that, literally note for note, exactly the same. Not even the words change. So you're just going to play all of that again. Let's try that much with the track. The track sounds like this. 1, 2. Whole thing again, from the beginning. And then, so for some of you, that's the entire song. You don't even have to worry about this next part. Page 2 is the second half. And it's very similar in that it does one chunk, and then it basically does that chunk again, and then repeats the whole entire thing. So this is going to start on a really high E, this one way up here. So that's right above a group of 2 black notes. Again, this is for the second section. If you just want to do the first section only, that's perfectly fine. You can go back and start practicing that right now. But for those of you who want to do the second half of it, you're going to take this group of 2 right here, and then start on this E right here, right above the group of 2. And you're going to play 4 of those. I wanna wish you a mare. That's all of that section right there. So I wanna wish you a mare. Then you're gonna jump down to this one and then play the note that's actually right next to it and come right back. It's actually a black note right there. It's that one right there, G sharp. So you might remember from the very beginning of the lesson, we said this one was G. Well, if you go to the note that's just above G, that's called a G sharp. So right there. So I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas is going to be back up to that A. So the last 3 notes of that section are really okay. Plopple, probably extremely impatient this time because we had the little break in there. All right, so yeah, let me show you the rest of these notes and then we'll do our last time through. Right there, that was that one, and then I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. Then that one right there is, you can kind of tell by the shape of it, like from right there to right there, that shape of that line looks almost the same exact as that line right there. That's because those 2 are basically the same thing. They just start on different notes. First one starts on this one, next one starts on this one, but the shape of going up and down and stuff is almost note for note the exact same thing. And then this one right here actually is the exact same thing. So that is just back to that first line again, that whole entire thing right there. Except at the very end of it, you're going to play a D and a C because that's kind of the beginning of the next line right there. From the bottom of my heart. Then you go back and do the whole entire thing. Again, it says down here, repeat this page. So you're just going to repeat that whole entire thing. So you do page 1 twice, and then you do page 2 twice. And that's why this is the longest song we've ever done at Kids Learn Piano Live. So if it feels like this thing just keeps going on and on and on, it's because it does. It's the longest song we've ever done, 32 measures. So let's try this thing out. We're going to go all the way through. It's really super fast. It goes 1, 2, 1, 2. Feliz Nav. Here we go. And 2, and 1, 2. FelizNavidad. Page 2, 1. There's that black note, and then another black note. This is the first line again. From the bottom of my heart. So we do the whole entire page twice. Ton of notes, and it's pretty fast too, and that's the slowest of the 3 tracks. So anyway, this one will take some practice, but you've got a month before Christmas, so you should be fine. Usually this is where we jump into the Kids Learn Piano Live Theater and we watch the video, but because we're so pressed for time today, we're going to move on to level 2, and then we're going to put the video in the Facebook page this week, so you can check that video out that we were going to send to you. Let's level up.
Transitioning to Level 2. This may be confusing to Level 1 students, so please continue to practice the Level 1 version, or visit learnpianolive.com/level2 for a detailed explanation on how to level up.
All right, so here we go. This is level 2, the exact same thing, but now on the official lines and spaces called sheet music that all the pros would use. Now, you might notice, usually, like if level 1 is really long, multiple pages, then level 2 is really long, but in this case, it's not. because we cheated. Check this out. In sheet music, you have these guys right here. Now, if you're on Clopple Academy level 3 or higher, then you're already using these. But these right here are repeat signs. So whenever you get a double dot like this down here, what you're supposed to do is go back to the first double dot. And if there's not a double dot, you go back to the beginning of the song. You can just play the whole entire thing again. Just play it twice through. So that's why on level 1, on that first page at the end, it says repeat this page before moving on. That right there, that symbol means repeat this before moving on. So that we get to save a whole lot of space by using repeat signs. We don't have to write all of the notes out again. Now, this down here, this is another repeat sign, and that would mean to go back to the beginning of the song unless there are other double dots we can go back to, like these guys right here. So I don't know if you can see if this makes sense, but these guys right here kind of make, well, let me see here. These guys kind of make an arrow that's pointing that you can't see when my pen doesn't draw. Oh my goodness. 'Tis the week, right? Okay, so these ones right here kind of are pointing that direction right there. So the double dots are pointing in the direction of the song, and then down here on the other side, these guys are pointing kind of back to the other dots. So they're kind of pointing at each other. The dots are pointing at each other. So that's how you know which direction to go. That's why you just go straight past these ones, because he's just saying, go ahead, move on. You don't have to come back. You're going to have to come back to these later on, but these don't mean repeat yet. So only the ones that are facing back towards the music, like this one and like this one. Those are the only ones that mean that you're actually going to go back and repeat. The rest of it, let's see here. We have these guys right here. Those are rests. So you're going to take those right there, and that's where we have the 1, 2 before you come in. We have the pickup there of FelizNavidad. So that is all from Clopple Academy, I believe level 3 and higher is where you're dealing with the pickups and stuff. So other than that, we have some ties and some dots and stuff, but that's all in Clopple Academy too. And I know Clopple's going to be jumping in any moment and cutting us off. So let's go ahead and try these. We've already gone over the notes in level 1. Let's go ahead and just try these things and see if we can get through some of these notes. Here we go. 2 and 1, 2. Second half, here we go. And then we do that again. That's the whole thing, and whether you're on level 1 or 2 or 5, that is a long, long song. So anyway, that's all of our notes. Yeah, I figured. This does need to be our last time through. Don't forget, all those squiggly lines like that mean that there are rests there, so there should be a little break in the notes. And that right there is a whole note. So you already have a really long note, and then the very next thing is going to be a dotted quarter rest. So there's lots of time between that one right there and that one right there. And other than that, I mean, the repeat signs are kind of the new things. Don't forget, these right here are ties. So whenever you have that, you're not going to play the second note. You just play the first note and you hold it out through the second note. So for this one, you wouldn't play F, F. You'd play F and hold it. So anytime you have those swoopy lines, that's what that means. But if you're on level 1 or level 2, then just play your version along with us. Here we go. 2 and 1, 2. whole entire thing, let's go to mailbag.
If you'd like to win an extra 750 points by being the mailbag winner, just fill out the survey at the end of the lesson or send us a message anytime during the week using the contact button at the top of the page.
All right, and this week is from Josh Tristan, who says, Dear Jamin, does Quapple always have to interrupt? It's funny, but sometimes it's annoying. Josh and Tristan, I'm totally with you. I feel annoyed every single time, but he's the only one keeping us on track. So if it weren't for him, these lessons would be like 3 hours long, and I would think they were awesome, and Kloppel and probably a bunch of students would think they're super lame. Like right now, how I'm talking, and you all wish I would just level up.
Transitioning to level 3. This may be confusing to level 1 and 2 students. Please continue to practice your own level, or visit learnpianolive.com/level 3 to understand how this level works.
All right, so here we are on level 3. This is the last level that we're going to do before we check in with Athena and see how she's doing. So this is all pretty much the same stuff, except now we're going to be adding in just a little bit of left-hand stuff. So we've got an F, and then a G, and then a C. And we have one last note. It's going to be an A. So that note right there. Those are the only 4. And actually, it just loops through those 4 notes. F, G, C, and A. And if you wanted to, you could spread out your fingers. So you'd use the middle finger first, and then the pointer finger, the pinky down here. And if you can reach it, get that A in your thumb right there. That would be all of the notes. If you can't do that, probably the correct way of doing this is to put your thumb on G and your pinky on C, and you could probably reach that. So you'd first use your pointer finger, then your thumb, then your pinky, and then you would reach your thumb and stretch it up to that A right there. So first I'm just going to play through here, play through all of the notes and just play the left hand part. And if you're on level 1 or level 2, then you just practice your version along with this. But for level 3 people, here's what we would do with the left hand. Here we go. And a 2, and a 1, 2, FelizNavidad. That's the first note. And then G, C, A, F, G, then C. And then we repeat all of that again. So F first, F, then G, C, then A, F, and then G, and then C. All right, so let's stop that for a second. So the first one is F, G, C, A. The second one is all of that without the A at the beginning. Or at the end, sorry. F, G, C. That's it. And page 2, the exact same thing. F, G, C, A, F, G, C. So we're going to run through that entire thing 4 times, I guess. By the time we repeat the first page and we repeat the second page, then we'll be 4 times through that. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in here with the right hand before we check in with Athena. Here we go. And a 2, and a 1, 2, Feliz. There's that F, and then G, Feliz. There's that C, and here comes that A, Feliz. There's F, and G, and C, and then Feliz. Do it all again. The F, and G, C, and here's an A right there. And F, G, C. Then to the second half. G. And here's the A right. And is it over? No, it's not. C. And A. F. G. C. Okay, so that is a long, long song. Let's check in with Athena and see how she's doing. Come on over, friend. Have a seat. So, in there, I'm guessing you were working through level 1, right? Is it okay if we start there?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
I'm still having trouble. Like, it's really hard.
Yes, it is really hard. If you take a look at the very first page, in fact, if you want to send us to the PDF here, then you can see on the very first page where it says melodic difficulty, that's how hard it is. It's 109%. It's harder than the hardest song we've ever done before. Yeah. So yeah, it's super hard. So if you don't have all of the notes, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to set you up here with level 1, and you can either play along with her or just watch and see how she does. So if it's okay with you for time considerations, we'll just do the first half. We'll just do the Feliz Navidad part and not the I Want to Wish You. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. Or did you work really hard on I Want to Wish You?
I didn't really work on it.
Okay, all right.
I'm still working on the second one.
I think most students are probably just working on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. So the first note is where? And then where's the next note? Yes, and then Navidad. Beautiful, beautiful. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 1, 2. Feliz Navidad. Beautiful. That's it. Here we go. On your mark, get set. 2, 1, 2. Feliz Navidad. That's all the right notes, yep. And then... Oh, yeah, okay, nice. Good job. Yeah. And then Feliz Navidad. Oh, look at you go. Nice. And it loops back around one more time. See, so here we go. And ready, set, go. Feliz Navidad. Okay, beautiful. And then Feliz Navidad. And then again, Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Yes. Nice job. That's it. Cool. In the second half, you can work on that one other weeks. We're done. Thanks. Clap it. Great. So, yeah. So then probably the only thing I would add in is when you played it for me at the beginning, it was perfect. Feliz. Then when we go in with the track and everything's so rushed and there's so much pressure, then we're going to a B first. Okay. So you've got all the right notes. They're those 4 notes. Just make sure you go Feliz instead of Feliz, which is the way you played it for me before. But it's always hard to do with all the lights and the cameras and everybody watching. And this is where you tell them to get lost by saying, let's level up, like that. You try it. Go. Let's level up.
Let's level up.
Perfect. Yeah.
Transitioning to level 4. This may be unsettling to lower levels. Please continue to practice your own level or visit learnpianolive.com/level4 for an in-depth explanation on how to conquer this level.
Theatrical Athena. Gotta love her. All right, so we are now on level 4, which means we try to make this part a little bit more difficult. We add in some more left hand, and then I tell you about all the chords that we can possibly use. So the first thing we're going to do is, if you're already familiar with chords and you've been on level 4 before, then you know it's usually made up of 3 notes. And all we're going to do is play the bottom, the middle, and the top of the 3 notes. So for example, during this whole section right here, that's all in F chord, as it says up here at the top, F. So during the F chord part, you can play anything from the F chord, which is this chord right here. You can tell because it says F right there. So F and A and C, those are the 3 notes that are allowed during the F chord. Any F and any A and any C. You can add in any of those notes, F's and A's and C's, anywhere you want, in any combination you want. Just pick the ones that you think sound best. Try them all out and then see which ones you think sound best. And during that part, you can play any notes from the F chord. Same thing then for the next section. That's the G chord, and then the C chord, and then the A minor chord. All of those are listed on the following page. So if you just go to that page, that'll tell you which notes are your note options. And then from there, if you want to play exactly what's written, just know that it's going to be the F chord, 1 note at a time. F, A, C. And then on the G chord, it's going to be the G chord, G, B, D. On the C chord, it's going to be C, E, G. And then on the A minor chord, it's going to be A, C, E, or A, C, E. So let me show you what that would sound like, just that part. And just like we had on level 3, those chords are going to go in the same order. So it's going to go an F chord, a G chord, a C chord, an A minor chord, then an F chord, a G chord, and a C chord. Loop that until the whole thing ends. So this is what that would sound like if you just played them 1 note at a time. If you're on level 1, 2, or 3, you can play your version along with us. Feliz. G chord. C. A. F. G. And C. And then we loop it together. So that's what's going to go on in the left hand all the way through if you want to play it note for note exactly the way it sounds. I haven't changed the right hand at all, but of course you can add in any notes from those chords in the right hand. So Feliz Navidad could have F's or A's or C's or F's or or C's, any of those. So you could go FelizNavidad, and then for the next one, the G chord, G's and B's and D's. FelizNavidad is a C chord. FelizNavidad, prospero año. So let me show you what that would sound like if you just added in chord tones only and played the right hand that was here. If you're on level 1, 2, or 3, play your version along with us. Here we go. So those are some ideas for the right hand to add in the chords for all that stuff. But anyway, let's try this thing one last time, and then we will be moving on to level 5 and then checking in with Athena. Here we go. There we go. Let's level up.
Transitioning to level 5. This may be terrifying to lower levels. Please continue to practice your own level or visit learnpianolive.com/level5 for training on how to survive this level.
All right, level 5. This is actually pretty straightforward. If you've been on level 5 before, or if you've already visited learnpianolive.com/level5, then this one's going to be pretty simple for you, even though it's a super long song. It has fewer left-hand chords than we usually have. So now we're dealing with all numbers. So the numbers here are just going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're going to play 5, 1, 7, 1, 6, don't go, 6, 2, 7, 5, 7, 6, 5, go, 5, 1, 7, 1, 6, 4, 5, 6, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 3. Just like we do for all of our other songs. And your left hand is going to play the chords down here on the bottom part. So that first one is going to be a 4 chord right on Dad. So FelizNavidad, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just go every other note, just like that. And that would be your 4 chord. So you can do anything you want with those. You could play it like we did in the level 4. Or if you wanted to, you could play it just the lowest note, like we did in level 3. Or you could play, or change the order from, put this one down here at the bottom, keeps all the same notes. got tons of options there on what you want to do with those, but I'm going to try one of those through. All the way through. If you're on level 1 through 4, just play your version or whatever chunk of it that you're trying on your version. And then level 5 people, I'm going to try to show you some of these chord numbers as we go. Here we go. 5, 1, 7, 1. So this is the 4 chord, 5 chord, 1 chord, 6 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord. Right now. Here we go. Athena, come on over. It's time for us. I'm dying to see what you've come up with. Have a seat. Here you go. So, what's that?
I'm so confused.
Oh, so confused.
It's
okay.
hard.
Yes. No, it's crazy hard. Do you know the first 2 notes? That's all we got to get. That's all we got to get. Feliz. That shows up like 3 trillion times too in the song, especially when it loops around and stuff. So if you get all of those ones, just that, then that would be great because we've only been working on this for like 30 minutes. Yeah. So yeah, if you were practicing for like 5 hours and that's all you could do, then that might be a bummer. But for 30 minutes, yeah, just a couple notes, especially at this speed, crazy, crazy fast. You're doing great. Let me go back to level 1 here so you have this. And you can either just watch at home or try to play along with her. Here we go. On your mark, get set. And 1, 2. That's perfect. I couldn't do better myself. Okay, cool. And then another Feliz. Yep, prospero. And here comes back around again. And then on your mark, set, go. Yes, you've totally fixed it. The next one's going to be up here, Feliz. Oh, good. Cool. And then back down to the original Feliz. Okay, nice. Cool. There's like half of them there where you got like the G up to the C. Perfectly. The first one, I couldn't have done it better myself. Okay. That was beautiful. Great job. If you got anywhere close to that, again, she's been taking lessons for a while, so if you have anywhere close to that number of notes, then you're doing just great. But everyone's been so patient waiting through this crazy long lesson to find out, did I win the $10 gift card this week or not? Did you know we gave out a $10 gift card?
No, I did not.
Maybe you won it. Maybe you won it. Let's find out. Thanks everybody for wading through all of our technical difficulties that some of you had. I guess some of you didn't have any at all. But next week we're doing the song How Far I'll Go from Moana. It's going to be a ton of fun. That's the new Disney movie. And don't forget to do the daily music challenge to pick up extra points. Send us your videos and stick around afterwards. I'll tell you how to pick up more points. And then fill out the survey. Love you. Bye. Hey, you're still here. Me too. Well, here's what needs to happen next. First of all, click on the survey button. That is probably like right over here. Maybe if you're on the iPad, it's like down here below the video. Anyway, it's right around there. Click on that. Let us know how we did today, and also ask us any questions you might have about this lesson or about any other lesson. You might even be the mailbag winner if you include your name in that. And then after that, you're going to go to the music challenge, which is a button probably right up here, up above the video. And so click on the music challenge. You can come back every single day and fill out the code thing and get your points for doing that. So you got your music challenge thing to do after you do the survey. And then after you've practiced the song up, then go to the one up here that says, right over here probably, student videos, and then take a video of yourself on your phone or your iPad or whatever, and then send us your video, and maybe you could even be the featured video and get points for doing that. And then if you have any questions, click the contact button that's also up there somewhere. Anyway, I don't know. But click on that. Let us know if you have any questions. And we'll see you back here next week. All right. Thanks for joining us. It was a lot of fun. See ya.